Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and you're listening to a special edition of Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Cloudcast and sponsored by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are live at Noah Homes' annual Summerfest. 40 years of exceptional care at Noah Homes. We're honored to have with us today Gary and Maureen Sage. They are the parents of Noah Homes resident Ryan, and joined by another family member, Colin, who is going to be cooking up some great meat today over here. We'll start with you on this, Maureen. So how'd you first find out about Noah Homes?
Well, I think because I'd always been involved in special education, I kind of always knew it was here. Our home was about 5 miles from here. And when we had our younger son, Colin, he was always involved in athletics. We went to soccer games, water polo, and Ryan just loved going with us, clapping, busy all weekend. And when Ryan went to college, he'd look at us on the weekends and go, well, what are we doing today? And we knew that Ryan needed his own set of friends.
Sure.
And so we reached out to Noah. There was a waiting list. Took about 4 years maybe till there was the right opening for him. He's been here for, I think, 20 or some years.
Oh, my goodness. So. That's fantastic. Probably enjoying every second of it?
Absolutely. Claps every time he comes home, and he claps every time we pull into this driveway.
No, that sounds great. I'm also joined by my co-host, Alexis Parker, who is on the Noah's Archangels Foundation, as well as being a longtime friend and colleague of mine, and was heavily involved in some of the buildings of these folks here, right?
Absolutely, yes. We built the memory care homes, 5 or 6 years ago now. So I helped Noah Homes put those together, and they've been magnificent.
That's great. So fire away. I know you have a question for probably Gary.
Yes, Gary and Colin as well. Maureen has expressed her opinions about how Noah Homes has affected your family life. But tell us in your own words how Noah Homes has affected your family and your relationships together.
Well, to begin with, it was a peace of mind for Maureen and myself, is to know that Ryan would have a home that he eventually would live his life and not worry about when we are gone. And so that was the biggest relief in our family. Certainly the activities and all the things that was all more of a plus. But it's just that when we saw Noah, I became involved in the board and was one of the founding members of the Art Foundation. So it's that we realized not only the physical care that he would receive, but the love that is exhibited by all the staff, to all the members. And that was a big relief in our life.
That's right, because that's the biggest concern or thought that you have is who or nobody is going to be able to love them as much as you do as a family member. Who is going to be as gentle as you are? And when Noah Homes gives you the feeling, a peace of mind that you have found people that understand what type of gentle care that they need, and that they're angels on the inside, and they do no wrong, and they're good to be around, and they're very special people that work here at Noah Homes. I feel like that's what separates that out. You can't teach that. They find a way here.
Absolutely, they're very, very caring individuals, and they know how to understand the folks that come here and live and thrive, and that. But Colin, you're the younger brother.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the younger brother. Yes.
Younger brother. So how How did it make you feel as a younger brother to have an older brother with a disability?
Good question. For me, because I didn't know life without my brother, I would say it was more natural of acceptance than if I was the older brother. Going through college, I wrote a thesis, and it was the study of the impact of siblings of special needs children. Because a lot of research has been done on the parents, but not much on the siblings. And I did find that the older sibling that had a younger child with special needs had a little bit more, challenges accepting them into the family because there's new attention. But because of that, it allowed me to be the protector of my older brother. And I assumed an older brother role, even though I was a younger sibling. I was happy to do that. It allowed me to feel responsible and do my part in the family. So
that's wonderful. I'm glad that you were able to do research and to actually want to find out how you can fit in and help your brother thrive in that with the family and other folks like him as well.
Yeah, he's actually impacted my personality a lot, who I am and what I believe, acceptance, equality. You watch people interact with him or make fun of him, all statuses of life. And so you learn to form your important values and who you are. So I feel like he's had more of a beneficial, there's very few negative thoughts or memories that we have, phases that all of children in life bring us. It's all happy and love.
Yeah, Maureen.
Colin's friends growing up, and I think was because of Colin's acceptance of Ryan, couldn't come into our house without seeking Ryan out, giving him a little tussle of the hair. Girls that would come over, oh my gosh, when they would get ready to leave and the boys would go down one path and the girls would go down the other, Ryan always followed the girls and wanted to get in their car.
He was the life of the party, right? Everyone wanted to see him smile and clap and go crazy, and he enjoyed all my friends' attention. So, and if you didn't do that, then you weren't my friend. You wouldn't come back to the house. So you had to kind of be comfortable being comfortable around my brother. Otherwise, that energy wasn't going to make us happy.
Yeah. That's wonderful how your family is getting other people the same age, youngsters the same age, to realize what it's like to have a child with disabilities and how much joy they can bring to the family and other people. And
many friends have come back to your point and have said,
wow, that
really has impacted me in a positive way. And because of that, I was able to interact in this situation and have a really good experience. And they said it's because of Ryan that taught me that. So
it must be something. Gary and Maureen, you look at this love from siblings. As Ryan face lights up, as Colin's even more, and all of Colin's friends. That's all parents can ask for. Is that right, Gary?
Absolutely is. Colin has been a limelight for not his friends in accepting Ryan. But Ryan has a special relationship with his brother that is beautiful, and it's always wonderful to see them together because they have a bond.
Well, go ahead, Colin.
I was just going to say, growing up, I would go to Ryan and I would go in his room and I would lay down and I would just talk to him and I would cry or I would tell my problems or I would get angry or frustrated, right? We tell our kids to go scream in the pillow. I would go talk to my brother. And I would walk out every single time feeling okay and comfortable, and my challenges or problems were not that great, and that they were, I could overcome them. And that was my therapy. And my brother had a way of looking at me and having a facial expression that would just he knew my emotion. He knew exactly what I needed, and he was able to give me what I needed. So.
No, that's absolutely fantastic. You're listening to a special edition of Spotlight on the Community, brought to you by Cloudcast Media and sponsored by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are live at Noah's Homes annual Summerfest, celebrating 40 years of exceptional care at Noah Homes. Honored to have with us Gary and Maureen Sage and son Colin talking about resident superstar Ryan and so forth. Question for you on this, Maureen. You know, our listeners on Spotlight in the community are very benevolent. They like to support things. How can they help you and Ryan and the whole family? That's for you, Maureen. Okay.
Well, one of the things we love about Noah Homes is that this is a community, and it's not just 6 people living in a neighborhood. And I love that when people support another great fundraiser called Enchanted Village,
Right.
which turns this entire property. And I've had friends that as grandmothers, they bring all of their grandkids. They would have never come out to Noah Homes, I think, if it weren't for that event. So I guess I would just say, try to help with, any of the fundraisers that are going on, anything you can do. But a lot of times, and I think Colin mentioned this, just a smile or a hello. One of the first times I heard about Noah Homes, Patrick, who was a longtime resident, maybe even an original, he was the box boy at our Bonds right up here. And one day I asked him where he lived, and I don't know, I struck up a conversation, and you could just tell on his face. So I think if you see somebody who's different or you see somebody in the community, just give a hello. And there's a lot of things, of course, on the lawmaking level on Sacramento,
Sure.
but I'm not going there.
Yeah. No, listen.
Gary will.
Yeah, no. Those are important things. How do people get a hold of the folks at Noah Homes? Just go to the website? Is that the best way of doing that?
The website is probably the best avenue. Is that obviously they do have a staff that can be reached by telephone, but the website is the primary introduction. Is to let you know what's going on at Noah.
Right, exactly. And people can look at, they can contribute, they can volunteer, they can give, whatever they do. They can learn how to cook meat. Like Colin will give them a whole lesson on this. I'm creating more work for Colin on this. We've got a couple more minutes on the show over here. Alexis, another question.
Well, you've shared everything, but what else would you feel that could be done for more opportunities for people such as your son, Ryan? Do you feel like, I don't know.
Noah Homes has been a progression, and it's continuing to progress. Is the
Good point.
goals of Noah are to open up to have additional residents. It's just additional people of need. And that requires money and the capital campaign that is going on. One of the things about a capital campaign is not necessarily how much you can personally contribute, but to your friends and to talk it up amongst your friends and your businesses. A lot of people have matching funds in their company that they work for. And those are just some of the ideas. But it's just that Noah is progressing and is not sitting still. And that's one of the wonderful things about Noah. And it will become even a larger community.
No,
We
that's
need
good.
more Noahs.
We need more.
We need more Noah Homes out there.
Here. We'll do that. Well, listen, what an honor chatting with you, Gary and Maureen and Colin Sage. Great work. I know Ryan is, wherever he is, he's big. He's over here, I'm sure, ready to jump on this great food his brother is going to make in that aspect as well. Alexis, thank you for joining me on this podcast. And just we want to encourage everyone to go to that Noah Homes website. There's many, many ways you can help out. And it was an honor meeting you, and can't wait to enjoy the festivities. Thanks for joining us.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.